Hello guys, Sir Grandalot here. This is the state of my grind video, something that I release every now and then, where I talk more or less freely about the games I'm playing, what I'm doing, what I'm planning to do right now and in the near future. This video is not going to have any editing, so right now on screen you see our glorious Faye, looking glorious. It will be like this for the whole duration of the video, although there is going to be some other topics, not just Chaos Zero Nightmare. And so, if you want to just hear me talk, you can, put your phone somewhere or open a different tab on your browser because there is not going to be anything to see. But I think, well, not really think, like the Google Analytics showed me that the vast majority of my viewers are from outside Taiwan. And I'm from Taiwan. And I believe that most people have no idea what Taiwan looks like. If in the future, when I do this kind of video, I had the chance of, recording while I'm outside and I can show you the streets and some dirty alleys while I talk about gacha games, would you like to do it? Would you be interested in that kind of background view rather than our glorious Fae or whatever combatant we have at the time? Let me know in the comments if you would be curious to see me record the streets of Taipei. New Taipei is better, but I work in Taipei, so it is what it is. Anyway, let's move to the subjects of this video. There are going to be, well, four, although it's essentially two, because one is Chaos Zero Nightmare and the other are the Hoyo games that I more or less play. Starting with Chaos Zero Nightmare, right now I've been doing some very weird things with the Fae, because building her is very simple. So I've been trying to experiment a bit with the new mechanics, those new cards that are going to be the core of Season 4. At the moment they feel extremely underwhelming compared to Season 3 engravings and Persona card. But I think they have a lot of potential, but there is a small part of the puzzle missing, and I think that part of the puzzle will be gear and the last cards that will only be revealed when Season 4 starts. In particular, I played and I built Agony Fae in an Agony-themed team, because it looks to me like most of the stuff related to Season 4 is going to relate to Agony. And at the moment, the only Agony combatant that we have is Tressa. I'm not building Tressa because she's extremely trash. So I did the next best thing. I built Fae for Agony. I'll probably have a quick showcase video about it. I had one, but it got corrupted and it bothered me so much because it was OBS recording in a video format that made no sense. I told you, record in MP4 format, H265. Yeah, no worries. And it recorded in a completely different format that DaVinci Resolve cannot open it. Fucking OBS. Anyway, and the way I built that combatant is actually the way I built that team, because you cannot just build one combatant with the new cards. Because you, for the most part, want to have 7 of those new cards, the blessing, the activation, whatever you want to call them. And the effects are actually pretty decent, but you need to have 3 combatants built like that. So I had Agony Fae, Agony Ray, and Agony Adelheid. If you're wondering what does it mean, Agony Adelheid, well, in one of the Chaos Exploration there are some pieces of equipment that apply Agony when you get hit, they apply Agony when you crit, and stuff like that. And I had all of them in my team, and of course 95% of the damage was dealt by Faye via her own mechanics, essentially ignoring Agony. But in that completely unoptimized deck/team, at the end of the turn and when the enemies was acting, there were quite a lot of Agony stacks triggering. And for me, it definitely has potential. Oh, and by the way, I used I believe it's called Claim. The one that when you have 7 claims in the deck, it increases the damage of Agony, and the card that it creates after you play 10 of those claim cards deals damage, and on the following turn you have 5 morale stacks for free. It has potential. It's missing a few things, because it feels very bad that in order to have that card, you essentially have to play and use a bunch of action points to play the other cards. It works okay with Faye because she's not action point hungry at all, but we're missing something to really give us an idea of what the season 4 mechanics will be. And so at the moment they feel underwhelming, and the combatants that I'm building are mostly doing them using season 3 stuff, and I'm using most of my daily energy in sorting materials, because I think that when the new patch, when the new season releases, we will have at least one new combatant to build. But if my hunch is correct, and building a combatant will rely on actually building multiple combatants multiple times for multiple teams, I think it will be important to stock a lot of the materials, a lot of the currency for the sortie shop to purchase the crafting materials. Do not use too many sortie mats on the mutation for the save files. We got some for free, and I used all of them on a few save files, and it was like trash, usable but the bare minimal, trash, something good. And considering that they cost 4,000 each, it's no joke. So don't waste too much. At the moment, I believe I have 60 or 70,000 of the currency from the sort shop, and I would like to have way above 100k before the new patch drops. So all my energy is going into that, because we still don't know what the new combatant will be. We don't know what to perform, don't know what to do. We shall see. So far I do not have any strong feelings, either good or bad, regarding Season 4. I have just this big question mark that I believe the power level is there. It's going to be a pain to build everything for everyone, but we're clearly missing something that we will discover when Season 4 actually drops. Now, moving, man, I cannot believe there is jazz. I need to remove this from the jukebox. I don't want to do it right now. I'm not next to the monitor while I'm recording. I hate jazz so much. I forgot there was this song in the jukebox. In particular, I hate brass instruments. Like, they bother my ears. So it doesn't have to be jazz necessarily. Like, if you play a metal song and there is a saxophone inside it, I want to die. So when I hear a trumpet or a saxophone or something like that, I feel death encroaching me. Oh, okay, we're moving to something different. Oh, that's significantly better. Thank you, Faye. Thank you. Now, let's move to the next topic, which is the Hoyo games. I will start with Honkai Star Rail, because Honkai Star Rail essentially scammed my soul. There is going to be the release of Gilgamesh in the new patch. Yeah, there is Himeko, but I care about the Gilgamesh because I wanted to pair him with the Saber, my King of Kings. I was very excited. When there was the beta for Gilgamesh, he looked very good, borderline busted. Like, he was very good at base Eidolon, busted, I would say, past Eidolon 2. And I was like, my Saber will finally... Actually, my Eidolon 6 Saber will finally feel like a playable character of the game of Honkai Star Rail. And then, right after I started farming relics for Gilgamesh, they nerfed him into oblivion, and every patch there were some nerfs that made him worse and worse and worse from every point of view. Solo damage, team damage with Saber, team damage in other randomized teams. So this patch for me is the ultimate blue ball experience, because although I love Himeko, I don't like her playstyle, and I don't like anything about Himeko Nova Flare, the new version of Himeko. And I will not be pulling for her, especially now that I have Eidolon 6 original Himeko that I got while pulling Peacock Lady just recently. And was it Peacock Lady or was it Cyrene? I don't remember. It was Peacock Lady, yeah. I lost the 50-50 on Eidolon 2 for Peacock Lady. I got Himeko, and then I used the Guaranteed for Eidolon 2 Cyrene, which is a solid character. But let's not worry about it. So this patch The current patch, the one that we're still in right now, was absolute trash, and I hated the event with a passion. And we moved to another patch where I don't care about any of the characters, and the only one that I care about, who is free, which is the only redeeming factor of the new patch, is actually S. I will be building him, I will be playing him with the saber just because, you know, they have the joint attack, the animation is cool, and I'm like, yay, it will make me happy. But man, the disappointment is insane. A positive note is that I will probably remove Sunday from that team. Sunday is an amazing character, but he's S with all of my characters. I pulled him originally because I wanted to pair him with Castorize. And Sunday was released before Castorize, and it looked obvious that Sunday was going to be the top support for Remembrance Unit. He was trash for Castorize, but okay. Fine, stay there. So I had to use him with Acheron. And half of the kit of Sunday doesn't work with Acheron because he does not refill our energy. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. And then we got Saber, and I was like, yeah, he does everything that Saber wants. And again, this time the action forward doesn't really work well with the Saber because the buff expire. Saber has her own action forward, which is often better than my god, Sunday, what a piece of trash character you are. He's very good, but I just do not have a good fit on anyone for him. Probably the one that is the happiest about having Sunday in the team is Sealy. You know, my Eidolon 6 Sealy that one-shots the universe while AFK. It's like, okay, let me one-shot the universe even more easily, but it is what it is. So I'm not particularly excited about the coming patch of Oncaster Rail. For the most part, to be honest, over the course of several months, Oncaster Rail has felt like an idle game to me. With very little gameplay to do on a day-to-day basis. Everything is done automatically on autoplay, and getting max score from every endgame mode. Now we're in a cycle that favors Elation, so although my Yaimiko, sort of Yaimiko, her performance is slightly questionable since everything shields Elation. She's zero cycling everything, every endgame reset, so there is actually no difficulty, and the story was trash. Like I really disliked Planacardia. I just wrote a few days ago that on Discord, going from Amphorios to Planacardia is an arch-villain origin story. Like the quality of the story took such a nosedive that it's unfathomable. Like I like the original part of the story when we were on Jarilo 6. And then we went to Space Liyue. I didn't like Space Liyue. No one liked Space Liyue. And the people who say that they liked Space Liyue, they didn't. They are just lying, hoping that they get more upvotes online. No one likes Space Liyue. Then we went to the Brain Rot Dreamland, which had some interesting part, but there was too much brain rot. And when we got to the point of the brain rot monkeys, I was just done with the story of that planet. Then we went to Amphorus, it was great. I didn't like Finon, because as I mentioned in a video where I discussed the story of Chaos Zero Nightmare, the rewritten story of Chaos Zero Nightmare, I hate chosen one tropes. So for me, characters, especially like Finon, but also the Danheng Inhibitor Lune are unbearable. I cannot stand that kind of character. But apart from that, I like Amphorus a lot. The characterization of the world, the story, every other character, they were all okay. And now we went to fake Japan because, of course, MiHoYo was told by Winnie the Pooh that they can, no, you cannot show Japan as Japan. You need to make it fake Japan, and the story is also trash. So, let's just move on. My biggest hope is for the next planet, but it's also my biggest fear. Because I'm sure that if the next planet ends up being a Honkai universe version of the United States, every 5 seconds in the story there will be reference about the fact that Taris are bad. There will be someone with orange skin and blonde hair who will be bad and silly, and it will be like that non-stop. If it happens, I will uninstall on KSRL. I'll be like, okay, I'm done. Thank you. Thank you. See you next time. Oh, man, I really hope it will not happen. Then there were two Hoyo games that I sort of play. One is Genshin Impact. There is a new map. I've been exploring, having fun. Sandrone is deciding to skip me, unfortunately, but I'm free to play in Genshin Impact. So if I cannot get her, I cannot get her. It is what it is, and I will save the pools for the Tsaritsa in a few patches. ZZZ, I'm sort of playing it. I do not remember the last time that I actually logged in the game. It must have been more than a week ago, if not 2 weeks ago, because it's unplayable on my phone. And in the evening, when I'm home, I want to play Chaos Zero Nightmare. I don't want to log in Zenless Zone Zero just to set up the video shop, talk to the doggy, get the coffee, get some discs that are trash, and log out the game, making no improvement on my account. The events recently are not my cup of tea, and none of the new characters interest me. Not the Milk Factory with pink hair, not the mommy. The chibi character, Norn, I think it's called. Her music video was amazing. I loved it, but she would not do anything from my account, so I'm not even interested in pulling for her. And I mentioned a couple of times on Discord that the only thing that I'm looking forward to this patch cycle in ZZZ is a rerun of each one, so that hopefully I can get her Mindscape Cinema 2. Because at the moment that team has quite a decent amount of investment, but each one I want her Idolo 2. She's one of my favorite characters. But at the moment I have really zero interest in logging into ZZZ, and it's on pause for a while. I will see if come August I have a bit more time to dedicate to games, because really in the evening I play Chaos Zero Nightmare basically from the moment my daughter goes to sleep, around 9:30, until it's bedtime. Either grinding Chaos, grinding Sortie, just looking for meme teams and all the sort of good stuff. And I'm not currently playing anything else. There is another gacha game of which I do not remember the name at all. Let me see. Margit, new gacha game. Miresi. Called Miresi. I'm curious to see what it will be like. There has been a few trailers here and there, and it's from Smilegate, which I have learned to appreciate. Playing Chaos Zero Nightmare made me understand how something like Epic 7 has been going on for such a long time. Like, it's not a game for everyone, but it has its own niche, and, you know, people who like that niche will stay loyal to the game. And for me, Chaos Zero Nightmare is the niche of game that I like. A roguelike card game that also has some a gacha component that is very generous, though. So it doesn't make it particularly difficult to collect all the combatants. I currently have all of them, actually. I've spent a bit of money in Chaos Zero Nightmare with, you know, the monthly pass, the battle pass, but I didn't buy any of the expensive packs yet. We will see in the future. But Miresi, we shall see. I don't even know if there is a release date. There is a pre-registration, that I already did. No, I don't see any mention of a release date. Just a bit of gameplay that was released a few days ago, and that's about it. We shall see. That is definitely something that I have plans to try. I will not play any of the 5 Gorillion games that look like Zenless Zone Zero open world, sometimes with cars, sometimes with bikes, just to pretend that they're different. I have no interest in that nonsense. I skipped the wave, the cycle, let's call it the patch cycle, during which every Chinese company was releasing copies of Genshin Impact with like 2 minor changes. Either in the skin of the characters, the game engine, or stuff like that. And now we are moving to every game is set in a normal environment, and you do this and you do that. Man, I don't know what is going to be next. Really correct. Not something innovative or creative, that's for sure, but unfortunately that's the gacha game. So thank you for sticking by during this rant of mine. This is an update pretty much to what I'm doing in my gaming endeavors. In real life, there isn't really much new to say. My daughter is growing, my work is busy, everything else is pretty much regular. And if you're concerned about the birds copulating on my balcony, which was a tradition many years ago, they're still there. But I no longer record from the living room, so they're no longer a part of our channel, which is a bit sad. I will need to look if there is a sticker that I can put on Discord of two birds fornicating, because at the very beginning of this channel, when I was recording videos for Anima, the hack and slash for Android, every day, without exception, some birds would land on the balcony next to where I was recording and would start to get freaky. It was incredible, every single day. I don't even know if it was the same birds or, if there was a never-ending cycle of horny birds. I don't know. I don't know what to find out. But we were such an important side character of my early YouTube career. Career doing air quotes. Maybe I have to look for a sticker of two birds doing stuff. At least for Discord. In YouTube, then I get reported, I get banned, I get cancelled. Let's not do any of it. Anyway, thank you guys. Remember to leave a comment if you'd like to see some Taipei shenanigans, and I'll see you next time. Bye and take care.